I've always been a little apprehensive to travel at the end of the year, especially so close to Christmas time. But when my family got the opportunity to take a 3-day cruise to Miami, I couldn't really say no. And given how 2020's played out, I'm glad we did. Here's what happened. We flew from Toronto and I used up 4 of my airport lounge passes on the way. My brother was feeling kinda sick, which looking back may or may not have been coronavirus, but we all took pictures and thought it was really funny. The flight was standard Toronto to Miami. I've never taken that flight before, but it was nice, it was quiet, and our Uber didn't really speak English. After that, we got to the hotel, and it was gorgeous. My brother found this giant bear since it was close to Christmas, which hugged you through some magic. I explored the backyard, and it was gorgeous, despite being super late at night. We fell asleep, and our first stop in the morning was Little Havana.
Dixie. When I tell you at university, my other friend, his name's Mukesh, he's Gujarati as well.
He's in Florida.
So what we used to do was we had to book a pool table, or when you're going out for a meal or whatever, you had to wait. So what name do you want it under? It was always Ben.
It's amazing how touristy a lot of the places we visited were. The last thing I expected was to be drinking from a coconut, looking at chickens, and going to a Disney store. But we did, and we also ate oysters.
Not bad. I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's not much to it. Yeah.
No.
Also, I got McDonald's and my parents accidentally paid $20 for 2 of these drinks.
Yeah, it was cool.
We're on a ship and you want a drink, you're underage. Don't be shy and I'll order you a drink.
She's drunk.
That evening, we hopped in an Uber and went to one of my favorite places in the United States, Shake Shack.
Let me make my life much harder.
Why?
She split the ketchup.
Then my dad told a cringy joke.
This is the picture of me standing next to the chicken.
Yeah.
Hugging a beautiful tree and Hammett hugging a murkle.
Chicken.
Right?
Yeah.
So I responded,
Oh my god!
it's not just a murgu, but a great big cock.
Whoa.
See, when I had Henneke, I used to do that too.
We were leaving for the cruise terminal the next morning and totally forgot we hadn't seen the beach. That's the beach. As we cleared security, we headed up this escalator towards these giant rotating golden propeller blades. Cruises are my favorite type of vacation because you're forced to disconnect from the world around you. There's literally no internet on the boat. And this one, as ornate as all the others, was geared more towards young people, which my brother and I really appreciated. We hadn't been to Miami before, and taking a look at the gorgeous view and also climbing some things we shouldn't was a really nice trip. We were looking at the watches, having no intent to buy anything, and just the overall ambience of the place was nuts. For those of you who don't know, meals are completely included on a cruise, and we got the fanciest food. After that, we took a brief look around the place, and then we played Jenga as a family, which is really nice. After that, we went up the elevator and headed towards the show. Now, normally I hate the shows because they're geared towards old people, but we saw ice skating for the first time in my life, and I've never been more impressed. The fact that these people can balance and do jumps and tricks was absolutely astounding. You definitely should go check it out. Then we saw another show.
Africa!
Yeah. So at that point they had this giant celebration for the first day on the cruise, and looking back it's kind of horrible how many plastic balloons were just dropped from the sky and eventually stomped on, but I guess cruising isn't necessarily the most environmentally friendly holiday. After a bunch of people were done stomping the balloons, myself included, we went to bed and got ready for day 2. Now, when we landed on this island, Bahamas, there were a bunch of other boats there as well. They had a few really strange Peppa Pig themed stores, and we got to see this beautiful waterfall. My brother and I then decided to climb the roof of a nearby building because they were charging an entrance fee, which didn't seem fair. We took a look at the nearby surroundings and went to the taxi driver's house. It was a little strange, but her fridge was really nice. Then we took a long drive to one of the fancy hotels on the island, but first we decided to stop by and get some rum cakes. We took a look at all the boats moored in the water there, and I can't help but think this is way better than the life we live at home. Then we took a look at Nobu. We did not eat there because my god is it expensive. And then took a look at some koi fish at the hotel. I think my mom had to go to the bathroom, so we stopped. He was playing Pokemon Go because he found some Wi-Fi, and we also took a look at this really nice market. It was funny seeing how many people were buying fake bags on their cruise. What's really interesting about cruises is when the boat leaves, it leaves at a certain time with or without you. So luckily we got back on the boat and were in store for a beautiful sunset. At that point, we were all pretty exhausted, so we played some Connect 4, some foosball, and went back to the room and were greeted by a bunny rabbit wearing my sunglasses. Then we went and got dinner, which as always was beautiful and gorgeous, and you can order as many appetizers as you want. From there, we got our food, and my brother got this weird dessert thing, I'm not exactly sure what it was, and then we saw a show. From there, we opened the elevator and there was a guy playing the piano. It was a really fun end to the second night. We woke up having arrived at Royal Caribbean's private island. Now, I'd never been to a private island before, I'd barely been to an island, but coming here was absolutely ridiculous. Now, the weather wasn't perfect and it was kind of super windy, but we still went and ate a bunch of free food, read a book, and also went on North America's tallest water slides. These were absolutely nuts. From there, we decided to head back towards the end of the day. I didn't really film much of it. And take a look at these views of these boats. They were ginormous. They had another ice skating show, but this time with drones, and it was one of the coolest spectacles ever. How they pulled this off, I have no idea. We sat and watched the ice skating again with more drones, and then this little boy came up and started playing board games with us, and I lost a bunch of money in roulette, which is always the case. Always go for red though. We ate dinner and the waiters did a bunch of really cool things and little speeches talking about where each of them are from. It was a really nice thing to see. After we went to bed, we woke up, packed our bags, and that was it. The 3 days had passed just like that. On the way home, I've had a lot of chance to reflect on what exactly the trip meant to me, and it's kind of crazy thinking about no one really knows when the next time we can do this again will be. But I'm really happy I was able to make these memories with the people that I love, and even though cruising isn't the most sustainable vacation option ever, it's a really nice disconnect from the world around you, and I think if we can all take a little bit more time to find more of those disconnects, whatever they may be, I think we're all going to be a lot better off for it. Also, it was my birthday, so we stopped by our favorite Thai food place and got dessert.